for another episode of Coach to Coach, y'all. And I have a very, 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 very special guest with me on tonight. So go and tell all your friends and tune in tonight, y'all, for this next episode of Coach to Coach, y'all. This is season 2 and this is episode number 1. Y'all, I've been waiting for this. It is going to be explosive. And I'm telling you, if you don't have your hair pinned down, you better go get some bobby pins right now, because you're going to need it for your edges and everything else. So y'all come on in, come on in, come on in. And as you come in, share, y'all, invite somebody. I'm telling you, you're not going to want to miss tonight's episode. So come on in, y'all. As I share, I want you to share. I'm sharing everywhere. And so I advise you to do the same. And as you come in, y'all, let me know where you're joining us from in the comment section. Give me your city, state, and your country. Hello, Tara King Bolden. I see you. I see you. Let me know where you're joining me from. Hello to my Twitter people. Y'all, we got the Twitter people in tonight. Hey, Dr. Corlette. And later, this will be available probably tomorrow on YouTube. Y'all know we got to do the editing and the cutting and all that good stuff. So come on in. We got Long Beach in the house. Hello, hello, hello. I see y'all. I see y'all. Let me get it in all the groups, y'all. And then I'm going to tell y'all who I have with me tonight. I've been waiting for this for a long time. Y'all know when people be busy, y'all, you got to go with what you know. And so come on in, come on in. And thank you to all those who allow me to share in your groups. So come on in, come on in, come on in. All right, y'all. I'm looking a little choppy here, y'all. Let me know if we choppy, okay? Because I know everybody's been experiencing some kooky crazy stuff today with outages and things, but so far we ain't had that, so we shouldn't be having it. But come on in. You're here. Okay, thank you, Christine, for coming in and inviting other people. So come on in, y'all. Listen, I may switch us over to a different, let me see if I can switch my thing over to a different Wi-Fi, y'all. We want to be correct up in here. I don't want no interruptions. All right, before I get my person in that I have with me today. So come on in. Am I looking choppy, Christine? Oh, we got South Carolina in the house. Am I looking choppy? If I'm looking a little choppy, somebody let me know, because I will switch over my internet and my Wi-Fi. I don't want to look choppy, okay, y'all? So come let me know if I'm looking choppy. I don't want to look choppy. Are y'all getting a steady stream over there? Hey, 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 hey. All right, all right. Yeah, I see. On my phone, I'm looking a little choppy. I don't want choppiness. All right. Christine, what do you say? I don't look choppy? Okay, so maybe it's my phone that's doing it, because it seems like I'm stopping or something, like it's stopping on my phone. And I don't want that happening. All right. Okay, y'all. So we're going to go on with it. All right, we're gonna keep on going, and we're gonna get on. Okay, thank you. Hello, hello, Keith. I see you. So y'all come on in here tonight. See, to me on my phone. Anybody else do it seem like I'm freezing up? Is what I mean, choppy. Am I looking like I'm freezing up? Anybody? Because we don't. I'm not gonna bring my guests on if we looking if I'm freezing up. I don't want to freeze up. Hello, hello, hello. Because if I'm freezing, somebody let me know, and I'm going to switch my internet, my Wi-Fi to something else. He said it's okay now. Yeah, so that means it's going in and out. So let me switch. Y'all may lose me for 2 seconds, y'all, okay? But it's all good. Don't go nowhere. We still here, all right? So this what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch us over to another Wi-Fi so we can have a steady stream going. I know everybody's experiencing some crazy stuff today with Wi-Fi and stuff, so we don't want it to be crazy over here. I don't want no interruptions. Y'all know what I mean? So come on in. So this is going to give y'all an opportunity to invite some people in. As I switch us over, y'all, I may go black for a minute, but don't go nowhere. It'll be like immediately back on. Okay, so don't go anywhere. Let's see. Waiting for it to switch over. There it is. All right, y'all, hold tight. I'm switching. There I am. Okay, that's much better. I like me better there. All right, so here we go, y'all. So let's get into this. I'm going to tell you tonight who I have with me on tonight, y'all. I have this young lady on with me tonight, y'all, all the way from Charlotte, North Carolina, y'all. She's a lady boss. She's a life coach. She's a serial entrepreneur. She's an author. She's a mom. She is a prophet in her own right. She's a minister. And I'm telling y'all, it's gonna be fire tonight, but I'm gonna bring her in and I'm gonna let her tell y'all all about her, y'all. So y'all ready for the one and the only, none other than Coach K, the soul coach, Karen Mcmillan. Y'all welcome her on in here with us. There she
Hey,
is.
hey, hey. Can y'all hear me? Want to make
Yep.
sure y'all can
Here
hear me good. There we go.
we can hear you real, 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 real good.
Good, good. Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining. Whew.
So here we go, y'all. So she's in the room with me, and so here's what how we gonna open this up. I already gave them a little short, quick little bio. So I want you to go ahead and give them something that they don't know about you that I did list in the bio that you want them to know about. Hey, Dr. Tracy.
Um, okay, well, thank you guys for joining. First and foremost, I want to say it's an honor to be on your platform. It has been a long time waiting, long time waiting. Um, it's a lot that I can say about. I don't know if y'all can hear me. Can you hear me good?
I can.
Okay. It's a lot that I can say, y'all. I'm gonna start off with letting y'all know that I just come off of a 3-week fast, and I don't know what direction I'm going. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I really don't even know. I don't know if I'm going to left, right, up, down. I don't know. However he lead me, that's the way I'm going tonight. Um, it's so much I can say, but what I will say is this: I am very honored to be a servant of the Most High. First and foremost, very honored. As a little girl, I grew up something that y'all don't know about me. I was and I want to talk about this if I can just flow the way, just go.
Okay,
Um
because we can throw these here can go straight out out the door. You know what I'm saying? All
yeah.
these little can go straight out the
No,
door.
you we're
Because
gonna
all I'm
get to
going to
that.
ask is what makes your approach to professional life coaching. We're gonna just give you
Yeah.
all the questions and then you're gonna go. All right.
Yeah.
So what makes your approach to life coaching different from anybody else's? Tell us about some services that you offer. Tell us what excites you the most. Oh, I'm gonna give you all of them. Then you're gonna flow tonight.
Okay.
And then tell us about your ministry because that's in there. I told y'all this was gonna be fire and this is gonna be different. And what challenges you face as a Black woman in business and ministry, and then what are you looking for forward to within the next year? Now, Flo Jr. Bye.
Okay. All right, so let's start off. Let me just say this right here, y'all. I come from a small town out of Wallace, North Carolina. And the ministry I have inside of me is very powerful, I shall say. I am a pastor's kid. I'm a PK's kid. Um, I have a lot to say tonight. I'm gonna see where God take me, of where He's taking me right now, is to tell y'all about my life as a young girl and what caused me to get to this point, to where I have so much passion for people. And then you will understand more of my calling, my gift, my coaching, and why it all comes into play of who is Karen D. Mcmillan, the soul coach. Why does she consider herself a soul coach? You said what now? Keep
I
going.
said, come on now. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So I just come off this fast, and I do recommend that you guys take yourself on a fast. Take yourself on a fast, take yourself away from the outside world. Take yourself away from the noise outside of this world so that you can hear within what God has to say to your soul, so you can flow and for you be able to walk freely in your gift and your calling. Why do I consider myself a soul coach? Because I consider myself a soul coach is because I'm trying to get you to be as authentic as you can possibly be, so you'll know who you are. And so that way I can take you away from the illusion of this world and get you to be who you are versus who you have become. A lot of us have become something that we're not. And we don't understand that us becoming something that somebody else have called us to be have triggered and have caused us not to be able to walk in the will and the way of God, because we're walking in a way that we don't even know where we're going. We don't even know what we're doing. We don't even know our expectations, because we're listening to everybody else and what they say we should do, and it looks good on this end, and you're not true with yourself. Once you become true with yourself, then you will be able to tap into the true authenticness of who you are, so God can truly use you. And I say that because when I was a little girl, I was 8 years old.
Can I stop you right there? I
Mhm.
want you, after you tell them about your little girl, but I want you to insert right there, because you know me and you got the history right there with this true and authentic self thing. Tell them when you
Mhm.
are not your true and authentic self.
Mhm.
Tell them, explain to them what happens, because I'm telling y'all, she don't went through it all, and we ain't
Mhm.
holding back tonight, y'all. So I'm telling
Mhm.
y'all, you want to have y'all edges down, because they're gonna be gone. All right. So tell them what happens when you are not your true and authentic self.
Well, one of the things that you're going to do is you're going to constantly go in circles. You're going to constantly go in circles, and you're going to constantly feed yourself excuses. That's one of the things that I found out, because what I learned by not being who I was truly supposed to be is I found myself doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over till I looked around 5 years later. I'm still doing the same thing over and over and over, because now I'm beginning to lie to myself to make myself believe that what I'm doing is right and real, as they say, real, authentic, and the whole time it's false. It's a false narrative. Good
Light,
God Almighty, it's a
light
false narrative.
walls, and somebody lights walls. Jesus.
It's a
Okay.
false narrative. So I had to really step outside the box. My coach Karen over there would tell you, I was going in circles. I was running behind this person, running behind that person. Then I'll stop, then I'll go,
Praise,
then I
y'all.
stop. Then I'll go, then I stop, then I come back with some more excuses. Then I come back again and say, well, I'm gonna do it this time. Oh, well, the Lord is telling me to do this. The Lord ain't told me nothing. I was just making up stuff to make me believe that it fed my flesh. And what people don't understand is the enemy has a way of using tactics so you won't tap into your authentic self.
Okay,
So
let me
what we
stop you
do,
right
what we
there.
do,
Let me
we
stop you
stray
right there.
away from those.
Let
We
me stop
stray
you
away
right
from
there.
those who can truly help you.
With
We
the
run.
enemy, and I always tell people, y'all, and I'm telling y'all, we gonna get deep tonight. I'm telling y'all, the enemy will tell you a lie in your own voice,
In your own
and you
voice.
gonna swear up and down that it's God. And anybody who's ever come across my path, the moment you tell me I hear from God, and this is what God is saying, I back off, because as I've told people time and time again, by the time you come across my path and God bring you over here, it's because he been trying to tell you something and you've been doing the complete opposite, but you hear from God. And so let them know that you can still be anointed, you can still be appointed, and still not be hearing correctly, or you are overriding what you hear.
But they know that already because they ain't moving.
But we want you to tell them again. So go.
I wasn't moving. I wasn't. I mean, if you really sit back and think about it, you can say you hear from God. You can say you're doing as much as you say you want to do. And you can say the Lord done told you to do X, Y, Z, and A, B, C, and then he done took you in the middle, and then O, P, Q, and everything else. But if your words don't match, and if they're not coinciding with each other, and
And
things
there's
don't,
fruit.
and the fruit ain't coming off the tree, that's going to tell whomever that's listening to you that has a relationship with God that you ain't hearing from God. Because let me tell you something, I ran up the oak tree plenty of times.
Y'all see that? Well, y'all can't see my gray hair. It's covered up under all this weave. But when
Listen,
I
I ran from this woman for how long?
oh my God, almost 3 years, almost 4 years.
I said, oh, she trying to be controlling. Oh, she wants me to be. She did that. I had every excuse to stay away from her, not realizing that God had put her in my path to push me to the next level. But I was running. And I said, well, the Lord told me to focus on this right here, right now. The Lord told me to do, oh, I'm sick. I don't feel good. Mom, I'm away. I had so many excuses.
I'm too old to be running behind anybody, so I let her run.
I ran to the point where, y'all, I can't run no more. I don't even have the energy to run no more. At this point, it's like, God, whatever you see fit in me to do, just tell me and I'm just going to do it. I'm not running no more. Because I cannot consider myself to be a woman of God or somebody that's anointed and a prophet to God and doing this. And I'm constantly running. And 1 minute you see me, 1 minute you don't. 1 minute you see me, 1 minute you don't. 1 minute you see me. Then I come out, I be on fire, then I'm gone again. Now, y'all didn't see me this time because I was on a fast. I had to go on a fast. The Lord had to put me on a fast.
Y'all, she is not lying. When I tell y'all she ran.
Listen.
She for real ran. She didn't just run. She ran and hid. She ran and hid.
Yeah, I wasn't answering no phone calls.
Nothing. She had a whole attitude. She had a whole attitude. And when every time she would come back, I didn't care nothing about her attitude. I was like, all right, Julia, we still gonna do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I ran till I had to understand that running was getting me nowhere. And I had to face myself. And that's why I had to face who I am. Me devoting myself to me, changing who I was, understanding that I had to be accountable for my own action and I couldn't keep giving excuses for something that I knew that was wrong. So that's when God put in my spirit, you're a soul coach. You're a soul coach. You people don't want to be, they say they're authentic, but they really not authentic. They're really not. Because when you're lying to yourself, your soul is suffering.
See, it's one thing to lie to other people, but it's another thing when you lie to you.
When you lie to you,
you believe in the lie. Yeah. That's the dangerous part. Is you believe the lie and then you start to live out that lie. That's the dangerous part, and that just takes you further and further away from where you're supposed to be. And you will turn around and look around and you will still be like, well, God just shifted me and took me in this direction. And God said, I ain't shifted nothing.
I've been there. I've been there and I've done that. I've ran for a very long time. And I'm being honest. This is from my heart. I ran. And we run because it's either things that we deal with behind the scene that keeps us from moving forward, because there's times, if I can be transparent, I was dibbling and dabbling with things outside of my calling, and I would make excuses and reasonings of why I wasn't moving forward. And then I would tell myself that what I'm doing was okay, and the Lord know my heart and the Lord know my situation. But the whole entire time, God was just letting me know that was never me. That was you and your own self. But then God will bring people around you to help you and put you in that place to get you to the next level. And you still run because it's not even that you're not ready. You just won't be true to yourself. You just won't be real with yourself. You got to be real with yourself. And I had to be real, and I had to come back that last time. And I said, I'm tired. I'm tired.
Because I'll let you run.
Yeah, didn't call me. Listen, won't keep on going. Before you know it, she got a Wednesday live. Next thing you know, she got a Thursday. Then she got a Friday morning. And I'm sitting over here like, now I'm your goddaughter. How you gonna act like you don't see me over here mad? You won't even call and check on me. Like, and this is the honest. And she said, when you're ready, you'll come back, because what my assignment with you is, it's not gonna stop. And I ran for the longest time, for years. But now I can honestly say I am steadfast and unmovable, and I'm always abiding in the work of the Lord. And I'm always trying to figure out the next.
God still redeemed the time, though. She ran,
Mhm.
and God redeemed the time for the time
Mhm.
she ran, because that was the plan and purpose for your life. So
Mhm.
he was just waiting for you to come into agreement with it. I was already in agreement with. He was waiting for you to come into agreement with it, and I think that's where a lot of people will miss it, because they're not hearing it directly from him.
Mhm.
And sometimes they kind of get in they feelings and feels a little bit, because they're like,
Mhm.
well, if God really wanted me to know what you telling me, he would have told me directly himself.
Mhm.
Not if you are out of order, not if you are
Mhm.
not aligned. He's like, I'm gonna send you somebody again. He sent
Mhm.
Nathan. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm. That's true.
Okay.
Mhm.
David was out of line. He had to
Mhm.
send Nathan to tell
Mhm.
David, you out of
Mhm.
order.
Mhm.
And,
You have
and
to be true.
get a
You have
whole
to be real
entire
with
attitude.
yourself. Mhm.
Yeah. Get an attitude.
You have to be real with yourself, and you have to be
Gracie
true.
says she does not coddle. No, I don't.
Mm-mm.
I cover. I don't coddle. I cover. That's my job, is to cover.
Mhm.
Tracy said you can't have two people out there running, you running, and then someone running behind you trying to get you in on the right course. I'm too tired. Okay. I ain't
Be
running.
ran all the way off course.
All the way off course. Now we both off course. Okay. Now I want you to double back, because you're gonna connect this. I already feel it in the atmosphere.
Mhm.
Connected. So now I want you to double back and talk about the childhood, because now that's going to make your running make sense to
Mhm.
people. Because sometimes people are like, oh, she ran, she was just disobedient. No, it wasn't that. It's other things.
Mhm.
Sometimes you can be afraid of succeeding, and people don't get that. You can
Mhm.
be afraid of succeeding,
Mhm.
and you be like, man, I did this. Now I'm gonna have to top that. And it's like, you really don't have to top it, but
Mhm.
that's just how we are as humans. So go ahead and tell them with the childhood piece, because that is important.
Well, when I was younger, I went through a period of my life where I was being molested by my one of my stepdad, and I can talk about it with joy now, because I've been free and I've been healed from this situation. Um, it caused a lot of turmoil in my life. It caused a lot of hurt, pain, struggles. And in the midst of all of this, I had to find myself, because I became something that somebody else told me that I was. So I didn't have my identity at a young age, because at this point, you said this about me. You said I wasn't going to be anything. You said that I wasn't going to amount to nothing. You said I wasn't going to be successful. So all the things that was told to me, I started to believe. So that's when, at the age of 8, I started becoming something that I just grew into this person. I just grew into this person. And a lot of people don't understand that your past can have you becoming somebody that God never created for you to be. And you run from the real you, because now that part of you that they say that you are has been instilled in you. So you believe that this is who I am, because I've been doing it for this way for such a long time. But when you have a calling on your life, and when God has something for you to do, and he wants to use that past to help push somebody else or pull somebody else, he sent people that's stronger, that's been through that
Right.
can help you to say, hey, you don't have to live this way, you don't have to do that, you don't have to do this. So I need you to get up. And they start pouring into you. And that's how Dr. K was with me. She started pouring. And I remember one day I was so hurt, and I remember I had called her, and I was outside standing on my porch. You remember this day? And I
Yep.
called her, and I would not let go of my childhood past. And she just kept saying to me, in order for you to get to this next level, you're going to have to let that go. Now, here I am, a 40-year-old woman, and I couldn't let go, even though I just kept. See, we have a time, we'll say we let go, but we really don't be letting go.
Right.
And you
Because
can
it's
tell.
back up. Because it feels comfortable. You get
Yeah.
so comfortable in it.
And she said to me, I remember that day. That was the day I had my first encounter and my releasing from her in California, and me standing on my front porch of Charlotte. The sun was shining. You remember that? The sun was shining
Yep.
that day. And I cried out to her, because I have held this hurt in me for so many years, to the point where I knew what God was calling me to do, but how can you help when you're not healed yourself? I didn't want to. It's like you're on your hurt and your blood on somebody, and they're not healed. You're not healed. You're making a whole mess.
Right.
So
Trauma bond.
Yeah, trauma bonding. So I wanted to be healed from my situation before I moved forward into this soul coaching. And I remember calling her, and I was crying so hard I could not even get my words out. And she just kept saying, Junior, calm down, relax. I'm here, just relax. And I just started telling her everything that was going on in me. And I think we spent hours on that phone?
Hours.
Just allowing me to release all that hurt. And I think about it, release all that hurt and pain that I went through and suffered as a child. And knowing that my biological mom passed without knowing what was going on with me. And the only person I had to call at the time, the Lord put it on my heart to call my godmom. And when I did, we stayed on that phone for so long. By the time we hung up that phone, it was pouring down raining. Remember? Mm-hmm. It was raining so hard, but it was a wind of refreshing. It was so refreshing. And I remember that was the day. It was probably 2 years ago?
2 years, yep.
2-3 years ago. That was the day that I actually was healed. So I do want to stop here for a minute and tell you, you have to heal from your past.
Yes. Yes. You
have to heal.
Help somebody if you're not healed.
It's impossible.
And that is part of this, why she's part of the Hers family, because that's what Hers is about. And that's what in my coaching, this is what I bring up, and that's what the acronym stands for, because before God could even move me forward to even be able to help other women become life coaches and to become mentors, is he had to heal me first. And that's where the acronym came from: healing, empowering, y'all, restoring, reorganizing, and supporting. But the first thing is always healing. You can't jump out here and say, oh, I'm about to be this coach and I'm about to be that coach, and you already toe up on the inside because things in your life were never addressed. And you get to a point in your life, like she had got to a point in her life where she said, you know what, I need to address this. And you can be 50, 60 years old. That's right. It's like, I need to address this so I can get on with the rest of my life, because it does, whether we say so or not, it affects everything that we do. And you see it. You see it. So I want you to go ahead and tell them about that, and how that even, man, this every time I look at this book, every time I look at this book, I be wanting to just, man,
listen. I went through a lot of hurt.
Connect.
I went through a lot of hurt with as I grew into Christ and I began to walk into my calling, and I began to do what the Lord had called me to do, which was to write the book. And I wrote the book. I remember when I wrote the book, and as I began to write, I just started releasing everything that has happened, everything that I was going through, everything that I seen, that I was not able to tell my mom, everything I couldn't express. I didn't have nobody to turn to. I didn't have nobody I could go lay on their shoulder. At the time, I went through this from the age of 8 years old up until 40. I've held that pain in me from 8 years old. You can just imagine being 8 to 15 years old, having to hold these things in. And then whenever you finally release it, now all of a sudden everybody is upset with you. Everybody mad because you're telling your truth. Now nobody wants to talk to you. Now you really feel like you're by yourself, because I'm like, I just want to tell my truth. This is truly what happened. And people stop talking to you, and the family looks at you differently. And now it's like you really feel like you're really out here in this world alone, because now the truth have set you free. And a lot of people don't want to walk in the truth. And a
lot of people don't want you free, because you were bonded to them with that trauma. And now once you've been set free, they no longer have an excuse to stay where they are, because
That's
now
right.
you're an example that, yeah, I was here for 40 years, but
Mm-hmm.
God came in and God set me free because
Mm-hmm.
I was ready to be set free. So
Mm.
you only can get out of bondage when you ready to get out of bondage. It's a choice you have to make.
That's right.
You know how we always say God came in and
Mm-hmm.
snatched me out. No, God came in and took me out when
Mm-hmm.
I told him I was ready to get out. And at
Mm-hmm.
that time, we were ready to get out.
And he give you a choice. It's free. Listen, God is not getting ready to force you to get out. It's like he gives you a choice. You want to leave or you want to stay? What do you want to do? And there's so many times that I have been in situations where he gave me a choice. Do you want to leave or do you want to stay? When you stay somewhere that you know that God is telling you you don't need to be, that's because you choose to stay there. It don't
He
have
said,
nothing to. It don't have
people
nothing
all
to
the way
do.
up in the
It's
balcony.
a choice.
It's a choice.
It's a choice.
I don't know why people keep wanting to teach
Yep.
around that, preach around that. It is a choice. You
It's a
do not
choice.
have to stay bound
Mm-mm.
up. You do not. You don't have to
Mm-mm.
stay where you are. You don't have to stay down. You don't have to stay miserable. You don't have to stay tired and beat up
Mm-mm.
and depressed. You don't have to. It's a choice. You can say, you
It's
know
a
what?
choice.
Being here, Jesus, God, I'm done. I'm ready to roll. And he
It's
don't know if
yeah.
you.
Let's get it. I'm ready. I feel it. It's coming.
Okay. I'm not gonna play with you tonight, Junior. Okay. All that extra stuff. Yep, I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to roll. Knowing you not about to do nothing. And God will sit
Mm-hmm.
there and God will let you do that. That's the part that people need to understand. Is
Mm-hmm.
God will allow you to
Mm-hmm.
have your excuses, and he will allow you to
Mm-hmm.
sit there as long as you want to sit there. But
Mm-hmm.
don't make no mistake about this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we've all experienced this. Make no mistake about this. You are not the only servant who has ears to hear
Mm-hmm.
and hands to build.
Mm-hmm.
He will use somebody else. He'll use
Quick.
somebody else. Okay.
Especially when the job need to get done real quick. And I remember the times I used to sit back and God would tell me, I knew God was speaking to me. I still would not move because my flesh was so comfortable in that position that I was in. And this doesn't have anything to do when I was younger. This is just up through life, period.
Thank you.
My flesh was comfortable. I didn't want to leave my situation I was in. I enjoyed being in that situation. So I made excuses. And y'all hear me saying I because I hold myself accountable because I made excuses to stay right there. And guess what? He let me stay right there in my
And I
mess
did too.
until I was ready to go.
And I'll let you stay right on there.
And I was tired of being there. So
She
I
got
had to
tired.
do something about it.
She used to have a whole attitude, y'all. When I tell y'all, she is not lying about what she's saying. She's not
Mm-mm.
lying about what she's saying. Because when God brings somebody in to touch that area that he's
Mm-hmm.
trying to deliver you from, he gonna send somebody that's gonna upset that thing. And I'm telling you, she will be so
Mm-hmm.
upset,
Mm-hmm.
so mad. And I couldn't one time I couldn't even post it on Facebook. She had a whole attitude. A whole attitude. I said, you know what,
Mm-hmm.
God, I thought my baby over there, so let me just not
Mm-hmm.
post nothing. All
Don't do
right.
it. Because I was going to
Remote.
get mad all over
You
again.
just gonna get mad all over again. I said, let me not post
And it was
that
all me.
resembled, right? That resembled anything that she going through. So
Mm-hmm.
I had to be careful about what I posted
Mm-hmm.
because of where she was and what she was working through. And it because sometimes people get to that place, they be like, oh, so you just gonna talk about me and my stuff and you just gonna put it on out there, but it was where she was. And
Mm-hmm.
I understood where she was and I realized that. So I was like, all right. I said, she out here, God, she had to be like that prodigal son. Like, go ahead to go out there until she comes to herself.
Mm-hmm.
Till she comes to herself, because I tell them I don't chase grown people. And I said I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I ran track in school. I can't do that no more. And so when she came to herself, y'all, when I tell you the transformation,
Mm-hmm.
the transformation was sure. It was
Yeah.
nothing left to doubt.
Mm-mm.
I didn't have to question nothing. She said,
Mm-mm.
Mom, I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
I said, are you for real this time? Because we done been ifing.
Listen, I've been back and forth for a very long time, in and out, up and down, round and around.
Woo, y'all.
But
I'm
there
telling
comes a
y'all.
point where you have to be held accountable. And if you really love God the way you say you love God, there comes a time, exactly, you got to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I was
Yep.
sick and tired. Listen, I was so sick and tired of being sick and tired. My tired was sick and tired of being tired. Okay. And so I just had to make up in my mind. And when I began to walk out this call, and I began to walk out my will, and I began to do exactly what the Spirit was telling me to do, and I began to isolate myself and get away from the noise and stop listening to all these other things, the doors, the opportunities, the
Yep.
things that have been taking place in my life. All I know is all you have to do is be obedient.
Say that word again. That's the cuss.
Obedient. And that's one of the things, because I used to tiptoe. I straddled the fence. I would want a club, then I would want to go to church, then I would want to preach, then I might want to prophesy, but then I want to go back to the club again. Then I wanted to do this. Yes, I was doing too much, but I wasn't obedient. Even though I knew I had a call, I was not obedient because I didn't want certain people. Oh, let's get to the certain people. I didn't
Oh,
want certain
Jesus.
people to stop talking to me or looking at me like I was too holy. I didn't want certain people to stop being my friend. And I wanted to still kind of be in the crowd. And I didn't want to just be, oh, that's Karen, Minister Karen. No, I still wanted to be the fun, laid back Karen. But then I realized that my soul was at stake. I had to realize that if you keep walking down that path of darkness, when you keep walking down that path of darkness and the things that's in that dark that you can't see, and the people that's in there with you that can't fight, if y'all understand in the spirit
Yep.
what I'm saying,
Yep.
you're in the dark, you can't see and they can't fight. Now that's a word right there.
So ain't neither one of y'all no good in the situation.
You in the dark, you can't see, and they can't. The people you with can't fight, and you can't see.
But
Now
here's
picture
the
that.
thing, right? But here's the thing, y'all. Like I told y'all, this was gonna be fire. So, y'all, I'll tell y'all, have your wigs on tight. But here's the thing: the crazy part is about all of this is, even though she knew she couldn't see, and she knew these people couldn't fight, but it was her heart. It was her heart that kept on getting her in trouble. It was her heart that kept on bringing people along for this journey that would not survive. And they showed her at every level that she went that they could not survive. That she could not survive. And when you have that type of anointing on your life, you have to have discernment to the point where you can see other people's heartbeat and other people's respiration. And you got to make sure that you got your finger on the pulse of their jugular, because they'll start to suffocate when you trying to drag them along, because you see it and you're like, well, I don't want to see the bad in nobody. And it's not about seeing the bad. It's about seeing, do they even have the capabilities to go God is sending. And so we get to that point where we just like, well, we get so used to these people around us, and we get so used to them being everywhere that we are, that we feel like, okay, if I'm going up, all my girls going up, all my guys going up. And God said, but I called you. You're the one that answered the call. They didn't. They heard the call. They ain't pick up the phone. He said, you did. Now you're trying to drag people along that did not even answer. And that's the crazy part. And so, and because they didn't answer, they're not equipped for the journey. And when they're not equipped, it will bring you all sorts of hell because they're not equipped, and it slows you down as well.
Mm-hmm. Since January the 1st, yeah, January the 1st, I've been by myself. Since January 1st. And I have to truly say I'm okay with it. Um, God is amazing. I don't know what else to say. Do I have flaws? Yeah, we all do. But me walking this path now and truly finding out who I am and devoting myself to myself and being as authentic as I can possibly be and learning that inner voice speaking to me, and I'm not all over the place anymore, and I'm in alignment. I have boundaries now, and that's something that my sister, when I was on my fast, my sister came up here and spent some time with me, and the Lord kept telling me I need boundaries. Sometimes we just don't have boundaries, and I had to put boundaries in place. I had to put boundaries in place within my work business, my business, my child care. I had to put boundaries in my personal life, my relationships. There has to be boundaries because
Yes,
on this journey, you gotta have boundaries, because if you don't have boundaries, people will do and say and treat you however they want to do and say and treat you. But when you're walking with God, God already has boundaries for you. He already know what he gonna allow people to do and what he not gonna allow people to do, right? So therefore, you need to train people how to treat you. Let's just put it like that.
period.
Let me tell y'all something. I got certified as a coach years ago, right? I didn't take it serious as I should. Once I got into the coaching, I knew what my calling was. I knew it was time, but I still had people and things around me that was hindering me from walking upright the way that I knew that God was calling me to walk upright, right? Soul coaching is very spiritual. So when I say
Yes,
soul coaching, it's because it's a lot of God in soul coaching. Like I need to know
yes,
where your faith is at. I need to know where you are so I can meet you where you are. Everybody ain't God connected. So if you're not into God, then I need to know what words to use. Do I just need to use the universe? Do I need to use divine? Certain
right,
terminology that you use outside of people who serve God, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna bring you to God. You know, um,
right.
and I may be a little all over the place, but you know, where are you? You know, where are you at in your life? What you got going on? So when I went on this fast, and my sister began to talk to me about certain things, and since January the 1st, y'all, I have been in a place where it has been so peaceful, and I have strategic instructions every day. And I never experienced this before. I never experienced this. When I got in tune with God, like I've always been back in the world. They say real. Like I'm a realist. You know, I'm a realist. I've always been a real person. I've always been authentic, and I've
Right.
always been true to myself. But there was sometimes that I wasn't so true to myself. Let's just be real here. You know, there's sometimes I wasn't so true to myself. And so when God got me on this journey by myself, I think we started it last year, right
Yep.
before, what was it, like August,
It
September.
was
I started
actually September. It's like
walking
August,
around in that
end of
way.
August, at the end of September.
Yeah, I started actually kind of like wanting to be by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Ma called me one night and she was like, Are you ready for what's getting ready to happen? And I was just like, What are you talking about? She was like, Are you ready? And she was like, You about to be by yourself. You about to walk this walk, Junior. I hope you're ready. And I just couldn't understand what she was talking about, because I'm like, by myself, girl, you with me. No, I'm like, what are you saying? I got people, but it's not that you don't have people around you,
Right.
but God, oh, he just gets you to yourself,
Right.
and he purges all those things out of you that's not there, that don't belong there, and you really begin to see you the way he sees you, and you start looking at the people around you, and you start noticing they're not really walking the way that you're walking, and they're really not pouring into you the way you're pouring into them, and they're really not connected with God the way they say they connected with God, and they're really not walking this thing out glory, the way they say they're walking this thing out, my God. So then I find myself doing what they doing because I'm trying to pull them to come with me.
Yep.
But the whole time God is saying, listen, when you're on your journey, you're on your journey, you're on your journey by yourself.
Right.
It's okay.
And can I interject there? And I tell people, when you get aligned with God, for real, not none of this showy stuff. When you get aligned with God, for real, if you are not in tune with him, this can be one of the most loneliest times of your life. If you are not in tune with God, you can be in tune with God and still be out of alignment. Okay, that's like a car. You can go get a tune up and your car still need an alignment. But you can be in tune with God, but not aligned. So you can still hear and you can still all of that. But the moment you get aligned with God, everything and everyone around you must line up. Or
your soul. Your soul is the central and integral part of your being, your body. Your soul is connected to the higher power. It's the soul. And when you declutter, Jesus, when you declutter, you got to declutter.
Fall off. It's going to fall off because you're going to get shifted.
Jesus.
You're going to get shifted. And especially when it comes to like she was over, especially when you get shifted. I always tell people, shifting comes with sifting. When you get shifted, people are going to get sifted. Things are going to get sifted. Okay. And so when you get in tune and aligned, this can be one of the most loneliest times of your life.
And it is.
Your mind right. Okay. And you don't understand how God is operating in the way that he moves you. And it's not that he doesn't want you to have people or friends. He's wanting you to say, listen, come spend some time with me and then let me show you what's been going on around you. And then I'll let you make the decision if you still want to go back to that or if we go in this direction right here, because I got some people that I can connect you with that's going to be tuned and aligned. Is that what you want? They not going to look like your homegirls, your homeboys. They not going to sound, all the way you've been talking and all the layback. He said, they may not look and sound like that. So I just want you to know, are you ready? And I told you, I said, Junior, I said, are you ready? I said, are you ready? I said, because shifting is happening. You getting ready to go up another level. Are you ready? Are you ready? And she was like, she was ready.
And ever since then, I've been walking. And like she said, when you're in alignment, it's something about that alignment. You can hear so much clearer because all that clutter, all that is not all this. You remember this? You said this. Let's go here. It doesn't even matter no more, because when God begins to speak and your soul begins to be obedient to what the word is telling you to do, you begin to walk in the will of God. And when you are in the will of God, good God Almighty, the things that come with being obedient and walking in the will of God, I ain't even gonna talk about this daycare because that's gonna be a whole nother subject. But my obedience and my alignment have caused me to be able to get things that have cost me nothing just by being obedient.
$0.
Let me just tell y'all something. Please, just a quick testimony.
Please.
I just literally got a bill from my architect, $5,800 and some odd dollars. I remember y'all think I told y'all that. Last week during my fast, I used to cry. And let me tell y'all something. It's very lonely. She ain't lying. Oh, it's lonely. because you want to call people and you want people to be there for you and help you. But when you walk with God, God will show you, all you need to do is trust him, and he will put the people in path to make sure that you keep walking, because the Bible says that he watches over his word. Oh, he gonna make sure that thing get to where he gonna make sure it go where it's sent to go, and it's gonna prosper when it get there.
And he'll stop. He'll put the brakes on it if you got the wrong folk.
And listen, there's times I was at a standstill, didn't know why I was at a standstill. I'm like, I don't understand. I feel like I'm at a stop sign. I don't know what's going on with the daycare. Y'all wondering how long. I'm like, what's taking so long? God is showing me, like, honey, because you're gonna sit right here until you let some of these people out the car. Get them out the car, and then we're gonna drive on a little further. I'm telling y'all. I'm not even gonna say that, but I'm gonna say this right here. There was a bill I had for $5,800 that was erased, and God spoke to me. He said, "You worrying about the wrong things," because people want to do stuff so they can get glorified. But on this journey right here, he gonna get all the glory, because he needs you as a testimony to show other people that he is still in the blessing business. See, everybody want to talk about, oh, but God. But when you experience those but God moments, you can truly say, I have a but God testimony. And when people hear the testimony, they're going to know that had to be nobody but God. That's what God is looking for.
And we know for her, it was nobody. After 17 years,
17.
Running a daycare in her home, and then in a building. Okay, and then God was just there every step of the way.
That I'm not paying for. Let's throw that in there.
Let's throw that in there. That she ain't paying for. She ain't paying for this building. God set it up to where they told her to move in the building. Don't even worry about the money. Excuse me. God gives you a vision. He sends provision. And saying, y'all be looking at the money, thinking he gonna send you the money. And God said, no, I got something better than money. Favor is better than money. And when you got favor, favor will go places and get you stuff that money can't buy. You hear me? And so she had that favor. And they said, move your stuff in. Y'all ain't been looking at the reels where she going places, picking up stuff and moving in the building and ain't paid a dime. And that man ain't even worried about it. He's like, listen, I need you and these kids to be up in this building. Just
to let you know, Saturday, he came over there and spent the day with me Saturday. He was just so amazed with the things that I've done to the building, like the stuff that's going on. I needed a water fountain last week. My sister can testify. I needed a water fountain last week. I looked up, and the person who's doing the plumbing purchased the water fountain for me. And I just was like, and God said, keep walking. I just need you to keep walking. Keep walking. You worrying about, and guess what, y'all? And I'm walking with my head held high, and I'm walking because I know who I am. And like I said before, you got to set boundaries. And I don't know why I keep going back to this boundary, because people, they look at me as Karen. They look at me as Diane from Pinhooking. They look at me as Karen, but they're not realizing that God has taken me, and it's still taking me to another level. When I went on that fast as 3 weeks ago, I already knew when I was coming back. When God told me, he said, when you open up your mouth, we're going to get some boundaries, and they're going to respect you for who you are and who you're called to be. Woo, glory. Because I allow people too many times to just say too much and do too much and treat my business and just do whatever they wanted to do.
Any kind of way.
Any kind of way.
Like this is God. God is
not realizing it when they steal and rob from you, they stealing and robbing from God.
Can I speak on it? That's why I always tell people I don't care nothing about when people people copy and do all that stuff, because y'all know what my tagline is: the vision will only answer to the visionary. That's it. Whoever God gave the vision to, that's who it's going to answer to. And when people take from you, I feel churchy tonight. When people take from you, they don't understand that they're not robbing you. They're robbing God, because your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost. And so when they take from you, they taken from the Holy Ghost. When they lie and cheat and steal towards you, they're doing it toward the Holy Ghost. So you don't have to do nothing except be obedient to the word that God gave you. And when you're obedient to the word that God gave you, God gonna make sure that his word comes to pass.
And it's coming. It's coming
Even
to pass.
if you don't want to do it, it's gonna come to pass. He said, if you don't do it, I got somebody who will. But this one right here, like, ain't nobody about to get my stuff. And when I tell y'all, she would cry. She'd be like, "Ma, I don't know how I'm gonna do it." Oh, yes, we do. We know how it's gonna happen.
Lord have mercy.
Yes, we do know how it's gonna happen. God, I say, still, Junior. I said, you sit still, Junior. I said, you watch and see what God do. You watch and see what God. That was my only thing.
He's doing it, y'all. He's doing it.
Watch and see what God do.
When I tell y'all he is doing it, oh my God, he is doing it. He's doing it. I'm telling you, he's doing it. He is doing it. I've experienced God, but this type of experience, I'm talking about when you are really walking with God and you're serious. I've had people fall off. I have had people fall off the wayside. I've had people stop talking to me. I've had people walk away. I don't even know why. Sometimes I'll be like, well, Lord, what did I do? If I did something, tell me what I did, because I have no problem correcting anything that I've done to hurt anybody. But I had to realize it ain't that they fell off. It's the fact that God took them away, because where you going in life sometimes, they just can't go. And if God don't move them, you're going to continue to try to take them.
Come on, you got to leave Lot alone.
Glory, honey.
You got to leave Lot alone.
Jesus,
leave Lot exactly where he's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? And this time,
y'all, I'm trying to contain myself over here.
We don't want you to. Know. You ain't got to contain nothing.
Ooh, Lord.
This time, though,
God has been
she
good
called me. This time it was like deja vu. When she called me this time and she was crying on the phone, it wasn't about what nobody else had done. This time it was about what God had done. So I was like, she ready. I said, she ready, God. She ready. She ready. She ready. She ready.
Stop wiggling, honey. Just stop moving. Just stop moving.
Okay. I was just like, Junior, just be still. Like, be still, Junior.
Ooh, Jesus.
Sometimes you feel like you need to do something. You don't need to do nothing. There ain't nothing you need to do. It's like, God got you.
I haven't lacked. I told God, I said, for God I live, I'm here. Whatever you need me to do, do it. I know he told me, he said, when you come off this fast, this 3-week fast, I need you to know who you are. I need you to know who you are, and I need you to put yourself out there like you are who you know that you are. Stop playing. Stop playing. And I said, okay, you ready? I said, I'm ready. Y'all, I've been by myself since January the 1st, and I tell you, this has been the best walk. Peaceful. Peaceful. I have not asked nobody for nothing. Everything that I have been needing for this daycare, it's like it's been given. It's been given. It's been given. Let me tell y'all another blessing that happened last night.
She will not talk. Y'all hear me? She will not talk when something come up, and she be like, "Can't talk, Mom." She said, "Cause I don't want to say nothing. I don't want to do nothing until God finish what He doing." I'll be like, "All right, dude."
I'm learning. Stop saying stuff. Let me tell you, I'm learning to not say stuff, because sometimes what I've learned is people listen to what you say and they go and pray against what you're looking for. Even though I know if it's for you, God gonna bring it to you anyway. But still, people they'll try to speak some stuff or try to deter you from moving. I said, let me tell you something God did. I told y'all, if those who know me know that I'm a big, huge fan of Andrea Dickerson. She's a child care coach guru. I've been watching her since 2005, and I said, y'all know me. If I say I'm gonna get something, if I'm a manifester, it's gonna come to pass. And I said, okay. Since 2005, I said, I'm gonna meet this lady. I'm gonna meet her. I'm gonna meet her some kind of way. Somehow I'm gonna meet her. But see, sometimes, and I'm gonna say this, thank you, Holy Ghost. Sometimes it don't be the right timing for us to get what we need, or it don't be the right timing for God to give it to us, because we could be immature, or it might not be time to us to handle it because the people around us gonna end up taking it from us. So God have to wait sometimes for the right timing, and the right timing is now. I wasn't prepared and ready for no building. You know that?
Right.
I was all over the place. I'm calling Mom, talking about, Mom, I want you to meet him. I think this the one. Oh, this the one for me.
Then I pick up all these strays. Where you pick up these strays from? Who can bring them up in here trying to make folk my son-in-law? And I'll be like, why do you keep bringing these strays?
It was never the right timing. God said it's the timing is now. The timing is now. And I'm just amazed with what God is doing, because I woke up last night and there's a conference coming up, right? And I'm getting ready to open up a daycare. And anybody who know me know that I've always wanted to meet her. Right, no strays. And I woke up last night, 12 o'clock midnight, and I had a text where my daughter had purchased my ticket.
See,
a $700 ticket. My daughter purchased it so that I could go to this conference. I don't think y'all understand what I'm trying to tell y'all. The timing is now. You got to be in the will of God. You got to be walking out your call to see the things that God has.
The first word that you said, you got to be what?
You got to be in the will of God. Walking.
And you got to be
walking. You got to be moving forward while letting go.
You got to be moving. You got to be moving forward while letting go.
And it ain't easy, but you got to keep going.
Not just any old moving, y'all. He ain't looking for any old type of movement. It's got to be the thing that he's telling you to do, the thing that you scared to do, the thing that you worry about how people going to feel about it, what people going to say about it, what people going to think about it, and all that type of stuff. And then you just got to leave all them lots that you want to drag on. You're going to have to leave them right where they at. You're not going to have time to be out here trying to get people up out of stuff when God said, I need you to be moving, and we moving fast. We moving quick. And he's going to.
And he been moving. Boy, when I tell y'all he been moving
at the speed of light.
He been moving, and I'm moving right with him. And now that I see how he move, I'm going to keep moving. I'm going to keep moving. And that book, I'll definitely get that book to you.
Yeah,
you can go to Amazon.
At the bottom of the screen. It's on Amazon, but her Cash App's at the bottom of the screen, so you can get a personalized copy if you want one.
Yeah, I've been moving, y'all. I have so much in me. I have so much in me that I've been just being weighed down, just holding myself back. And sometimes I get up here and I say some things, and the spirit has been giving me different content now, because I was I said, okay, I know I'm a coach. And these 3 weeks, I was like, okay, I'm a coach. And God just be like, the content is getting, I haven't really been posting since I've been back on live, but my content is going to be different, because now that I understand what I'm doing now, even though I knew he had put it in me. Now I'm like, okay, God, I'll be putting myself out there like I'm a life coach. And God said, but you're not a life coach though. You're a soul coach. That's two different coaches. You're two different coaches. What am I doing, baby? I want to talk to the people that's at the point to where they tired of not knowing who they are. I want to talk to some people who tired of believing what the world is saying. I want to talk to the people that say, what's inside of me? How can I hear that inner voice? How can I clear myself? How can I get close to me? How can I change me? How can I get my soul right? That's the type of people I want to talk to. So, and like nothing in this world matters no more. It's all about you and God. What do God want for you? That's what God has put me out here to do, is to help people connect with their inner selves, to connect with them and get away from falsifying and believing that you're doing something right, when in all reality, you're just lying to yourself, and you can't move forward in the things of God while you're continuously lying to yourself, trying to make yourself believe that this is what God is calling you to do. And in all reality, that's not what he's calling you to do. And I'm just grateful, because this mission has been, it's just been a blessing. I met some great people along the way. I've changed a lot. I've changed a lot. And I thank you. I thank you so much, Dr. K, because even though I know we have bumped heads, and I will say this on the platform, because you know how we are, we're going to be truthful with each other. And I am getting teary eyes, because it's only right for me to be honest. I've always loved you as my godmom when you accepted me as your godchild. But there were times where I would get upset and I would get mad, and I just felt like you were just being funny and petty and da 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 da. But as I began to grow And I began to understand my calling and understand my walk and understand how important it is to actually follow the voice of God. It made me realize that a lot of the things that you have been teaching me behind the scene and you just always taught me things that I didn't want to do, that I felt like was pointless. Now I find myself doing it. And I always call you and say, well, now I understand why you
Now
said
I
this.
understand.
Now I understand why you said that. But it
Now I
takes
understand.
maturity.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
takes that a long time with God and that intimate time. For you have to be about your father's business.
Yes,
Because when
sir.
you're about your father's business, you really don't have time to deal with nobody else and their foolishness. And that's just the honest. I used to call her and I used to say, you heard about the truth and his wife, and you heard about this. And she said, girl, who that? Mom, they all over the internet. You don't know who that is? I don't have no clue. So I will have to stop talking because it would be pointless because she didn't even know what I was talking about. So it was just like, never mind, don't even worry about it. So then I'll come back with something else. Mom, you ever heard of this? Da, da, da? Julia, I don't know what happened. But it wouldn't be right to tell the story because she ain't even, you know what? Don't worry about it. Let me call somebody else who understand and know what's going on because you don't know. I can honestly say now, I don't know what's going on out here.
Oh no. I told her, I said, who? I said, unless it's somebody God sent it over here to type this book or grade these
Oh
papers
my
or make this
gracious.
class, I have no idea who it is. And
Mm-hmm.
it's not because I'm out of touch with what's going on, it's that I don't have time. And
Mm-hmm.
my focus is not on that unless the truth is
Mm-hmm.
an extra angel or disciple. I have no idea because I'm too focused on, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
on my assignment. I'm constantly on my assignment because the moment I get distracted, I have an entire network of coaches and mentors and people that I mentor. If I get distracted and get off course, this entire train gets off course. And you
Mm-hmm.
have folks swinging back and forth, left and right, because the person that God has in the caboose driving this thing done got off track. So the whole train off track. So I don't have time. And then she came back and she told me, she said, Ma, you know what? She said, now I understand. She said, I don't have time for nothing. She said, at the end of the day, I'm tired and be in the bed. Y'all hear me? In the bed.
Listen, from the time I wake up in the morning up until the time I lay down, I'm literally doing work.
Work.
I
Work.
barely talk on the phone. If I may talk to my girlfriends in California and Rock Hill, but when I talk to them, they're talking things that's feeding my spirit. They're talking
Right.
about God. They're
Listen.
teaching me things that I need to learn. They're helping me with my website. Like those are the things that I'm doing now. Or my sister will get on the phone and we'll discuss the Bible. We'll go over certain things. Of course, I'll speak to you, and we'll go over little things. Other than that, I don't talk to nobody. I really just don't.
Don't have no time. God has her on assignment, and so we're over our time, but that's okay. We're over time, but that's okay because this is stuff that needed to be said. Is
Mm-hmm.
anything? Is there anything new that you coming up with that you can talk about that we need to get our hands on? That we need to get our hands on, or is there something new that you can talk about, or is there an announcement coming that we all just need to be having our eyes?
Well, one of the things that's new that's getting ready to happen is I am getting ready to do some master classes with child care facilities. Well, basically what I'll be doing is I'll be helping individuals set up child care facilities, or if you want to do an in-home child care, I'm actually getting some things behind the scenes taking care of on that. Right now, my sole focus is getting this daycare up and running. And when
Oh
I
yeah.
tell y'all, it is a lot of work because now that I have a coach in the childcare industry, I'm learning different things of how to put systems together. And it's not easy because it's a lot of work. And because I am the owner of my facility and I'm doing everything by myself, it takes a lot of my time. So a lot of my focus is on getting touched by an angel learning center up and going. I will say that we should be open next month. Prayfully, if all goes well, through the help and grace of God, we'll be open. And also, I will be bringing back our the coaching program for the youth, my mentorship program for the youth. And I am also I got a website that's in the process of getting made now. Now, when we talk about coaching, the coaching is shifting because what I was trying to do is not what I was supposed to be doing. So now that the coaching is shifting, now the soul coaching is coming. So now you're going to see me on live or videos doing more content on soul coaching and teaching you how to dive deep into your soul and just get away from the illusion of this world, and teaching you how to love you all over again, to find out who am I, what do I really like, things of that nature. And I think that's so important because a lot of us are walking around and really don't know who we are. We
Right.
really haven't tapped into ourselves. So I'm going to help you tap into your inner self so that you can begin to listen to the messages within, so you can be able to begin to walk the way God has called you to walk.
Amen. Amen. And y'all, we want to thank Coach K, y'all, the soul coach, and my goddaughter for spending this time with us and making the time, y'all. And we thank God for what he's doing in her life. Both of her books, she has a book that's also called Single Yet Satisfied. She also have that group for the singles on Facebook. If you're not in there, get in there, and you don't have to be single because they do have topics there for married people. Okay. So if you want to get in that group, get in the group. But if you want the books, y'all, are you sending people to Amazon for the books, or are you going to be taking orders as well?
They can, if they want. I have books here, so if you want some books, just let me know, and I can
so
send them out.
She has both books that are available. She has Moving Forward While Letting Go, and then she also has, like I said, the Single Yet Satisfied. Her Cash App is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. It'll still be there. You can go back and get that. Or if you just like, listen, I can't wait, I need it now, and go over on Amazon and get your copy. Both are available on Amazon. And we want to say thank you to all our viewers. Thank you to my Twitter people that are watching us on Twitter.
Thank you.
Everybody, whether you're watching on the business page or the personal page, we want to thank y'all for rocking and rolling with us tonight. And as I say, probably about tomorrow, once I edit everything, it'll be available on YouTube as well. And with that, y'all, we're going to get out of here the same way we came. And we just want to say thank you. Y'all have a good night. And if you are a coach, y'all, or a consultant, or just an entrepreneur, and you want to get on this podcast, please send me an email to hersllc@yahoo.com, y'all, and I'll get you on here. Listen, I'm all about highlighting people who don't get to be highlighted. That's all this is about, y'all. Okay, so we thank y'all for rocking and rolling. We'll see y'all.
Thank you.
For the next episode. So we want to thank you. This is the first episode of season 2. So we say thank you to the Soul Coach for being the first episode of season 2. Okay, y'all. If you haven't seen the other episodes, go back and watch them. They're all on YouTube. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Have a good night.